Hey everybody, I'm Ted from Tebex. In this tutorial we are once again looking at Multiverse 2. Last tutorial we done the basic setup, some world creation and also some portal linking between different worlds. In this tutorial we will import a world. This could be a survival world that you're already playing on, or this can be a custom lobby or custom map. We are going to import a world from CurseForge. We will then set our spawn point and configure some of the options so people cannot mess with our lobby. I will also show you a plugin called Chunky. Chunky can be interesting if you currently don't have access to a really high-end system. You can use it to pre-generate chunks in a predefined radius. This really depends on what kind of world and what kind of hardware you're running, but this can be a super handy tool in specific situations. I want to get all the housekeeping out of the way first. So inside of my plugins folder, you can see there's Chunky, we have Luckperms, we have Multiverse, we have Multiverse inventories and Multiverse portals. I haven't changed anything in the settings between last tutorial and this tutorial. If you're not at this point yet, I would recommend watching that tutorial first. We also have this T-Pan folder. This is from CurseForge. You can see this is a lobby with castles and dragons, and all these links that I'm using will be in the video description. You can see that that folder is in the same folder where my world, world nether and world end is. So let's first of all import that lobby. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Multiverse, import, then the folder name, and then what kind of world it is. So this can be normal, nether, or end. We can clearly see that this is in the overworld. So then let's press enter. Starting import, and then it says complete. So now if we do list, you can see that we have the world the end, which is a end world. We have 3 normal or overworld worlds, test world, T-Pan, and our standard world. And then we have 2 nether worlds, test nether and world_nether. So let's do mv info, and this is test nether. The world, the end, and the world nether are all together. T-Pan is going to be my lobby. Test nether is already linked with this portal, so I don't want to mess with that. So let's remove the test world. So I'm going to say Multiverse, delete, and then the name of the world. So test world. And now I have 10 seconds to say mv confirm. And then the world is gone. So now if I check again with list, you can see that that world is now gone. Of course, make sure that you're deleting the proper world. So let's teleport to our lobby. So what I will do is mv tp for teleport and then the name of the world. And that should bring you to the world that you imported. So let's change this to creative. And let's fly around. Yeah, this looks awesome. Okay, this looks really cool. So let's say this is going to be our spawn point and this is going to be our lobby. So as you can see, I now have 2 instances of Minecraft open. The one on the left is the account we've been using so far. So the left is my admin account or operator. And on the right is a normal player, but this player is in the VIP group. This makes it a lot easier to demonstrate things and I don't have to constantly operate and deoperate myself. I did make a few changes, so let's see what I did. If we go inside of config and then edit that, we can see here, first spawn world. I changed that from world to the name of our lobby. This means when someone joins for the first time, they will spawn in that world. Then if we go back and go inside of worlds.yml and look for our lobby, here we go. There are a few settings here that we can change. So let's change PvP to false. Let's turn off the animals and let's turn off the monsters. There is no hunger here. The game mode, set it to adventure. That means that they cannot break any blocks inside of your lobby. I will show you how to set a spawn point in a little bit. We can change bed respawn to false. If they are somehow able to access a bed, they are not able to set their spawn. And I think that is all that I'm going to change. So let's click on save. And then on my admin account, I'm going to reload Multiverse. And now if I respawn on this account, first of all, I am spawning here. And I should not be able to break any blocks, as you can see. I also made sure that I'm able to see what worlds are available. So I do list, I can see what worlds there are, and I'm also able to teleport myself to any of those worlds. So if I do Multiverse teleport and then the name, in this case world, you can see that I'm allowed to teleport there. Because I added the proper permissions through Luckperms, I am able to access this world. And also able to access the list that shows me what worlds are available. You just saw me reload Multiverse on my admin account. If I try to do something on a normal account, so for example, MV reload, it tells me you do not have the required permissions. So that's first of all good, but it also tells me exactly what permission I am missing. So let's, for example, add this permission to the group as well. And let's take a look at what permissions I already added to the VIP group. So on my admin account, I'm going to say Luckperms editor and open up the editor. And then under groups, we're going to go to VIP. So you can see that I got a few permissions here on this group. First of all, I have access to all 3 of the worlds. I also have access to the list to see what worlds are available. And using these 2, I am also able to teleport myself from world to world using portals and also using commands. These bottom 2 give access to the portals, and this is still from our last tutorial. So what we can do is we can do multiverse.core.reload, add this to the list, and then actually apply it to the server. If I now go on my non-admin account, but I am still in the VIP group, I should now be able to reload, as you can see, reload the plugin. So this is how you add those permissions, add the ones you need to a group, and then we can use Tebex to add a player to a group once a package has been claimed or purchased. Let me show you how you can set something as a spawn point. So I want to make this the spawn point. I think it also takes into consideration where we are looking at. So I'm just going to look at this dragon, or of course you can look at the building and let people discover the dragon on their own, whatever you want. I'm going to look at the dragon, which seems to be not 100%, but let's ignore that. And then I'm going to do set world spawn, press enter, and this will set the world spawn for vanilla. And then I will also do mv set spawn, if I can type. This will set the spawn for multiverse. So now if I go somewhere in this world and I do mv spawn, you can see that it puts me exactly how I was on this point. And this is now also true for the other players. So if I do mv teleport tpan, so I'm back to the lobby. And since this world is also set up as our first world spawn, anybody that joins our server for the first time will get exactly that view. If you, for example, have a massive sign here with your server name, then people will see that as soon as they join the server. In our last tutorial, we showed you how you can create those portals and link them up between different worlds. So you can create portals right in front of the view where people spawn. Let's take a look at the inventory. So as you saw earlier, looking at our plugins, I already have the Multiverse Inventories plugin installed. Let's say I have a creative world and a survivor world. I definitely don't want to link those inventories. How can we decide what worlds link to each other? So let's do mv env for Multiverse Inventory. And then let's do group. And there is a group, which is the default group. And since I don't want to make it overcomplicated, I'm not going to add another group. So I'm just going to edit the default group. So it shows me that currently linked to the default group is the world, the end, and also the world nether. The world that isn't linked is this lobby. So we can check this. If I do teleport world, I should be able to get a block here because one, I'm able to mine here. Well, I'm operator on this account, so I should be able to mine anywhere. But if I take any blocks and I teleport back to the lobby, you can see that I lose those blocks because my inventory isn't linked. What you can also do is you can do a minus and then the name of the world that will delete it. So let's do minus tpan. And now it's deleted from the world again because I don't want to share anything with the lobby. But you can create different groups and you can add different worlds to those groups. And this is how you can dictate what players, or better said, what groups, can access and also keep their inventory between different worlds. Lastly, let's look at Chunky. Like I said in the beginning of the tutorial, this can help you if you don't have the best server. You want to preload a bunch of chunks around your spawn point to hopefully improve the performance once you have a lot of people online. So let's create a world. I'm going to say mv create chunk normal for a normal overworld. This will create a new world for us. Let's teleport to that world. Teleport chunk. I want to use the chunky plugin to generate a few chunks around this. Let's first of all select this world. So let's do chunky world and then let's select chunk. Now we have selected this world for chunky to use. If we want to, we can change the shape. So let's do shape. If you have a specific map, this might be interesting. I think the default is circle. Let's leave it on circle for now, but as you can see, this is a option. I'm going to set the current center and let's also set the radius. Let's do 250. So chunky radius 250. So basically it's going to set the center where we are. It's then going to take whatever shape we selected and put that around that center in the radius that we also specified. And that is the area that is going to be preloaded. Anybody playing inside of that area isn't triggering any new creation of chunks. So now what we can do is just do chunky start, and this will start the process. You don't get a lot of feedback. What you can do is go to the console. As you can see here, there's quite some information, some estimated time, and also the completion percentage. So we are inside of our root folder. We can see here chunk. If we select this folder, click on info, you can see the current size, 12.5 MB. Let's do the chunks again. Let's do a radius of 2000 and then let's just start it again. Let's actually look at the console this time. You can see it coming in. Let's do chunky pause. And it says task paused for the world chunk. And it says the same here inside of our console. Let's go back to the file manager, look at the information. And as you can see, it's now quite a lot bigger. It's not just to generate chunks, you can also use it to trim chunks. And this will delete any chunk outside of the selection. Using today's tutorial and last tutorial, you should be able to create your own lobby, offer multiple worlds, create those worlds, set up portals to teleport between those worlds, dictate what kind of game mode and what kind of settings are per world, and also how you can link inventories between worlds and make sure that certain worlds are excluded, like for example a creative world. In our upcoming tutorial, we will look at things like separating the chat and the economy. Until then, you should already have a lot to tinker with. If you're not done watching yet, you can click here on the right for our latest release or on the left for something that we think suits you best. If you think I want even more, of course, feel free to subscribe. This way you will be notified when we release new content every Friday. If anything is unclear, feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching and good luck with your Tebex store.